morning, televiewers, and happy week starts from us at My Media Prime Television. You're on to your favorite bilingual program, The Brief, which is of course dedicated to the review of striking headlines in the papers. On today's edition of the program, we are dwelling on the Agem Water Project and the sole owner of the said project, which has not seen the day of light 30 years on. Charles KEBUA, he will be here with us to talk about the said water project, and we shall equally be talking about Cameroon, which is caught between the devil and the deep blue sea, with pro-gay diplomats being accredited to Cameroon. We shall be dwelling on these two very important topics that caught the attention of some striking or some newspapers in the country today. Audrey Zatsa is here with us. Let's find out what the French newspapers got for us this morning. Bonjour Audrey Zatsa.
Bonjour Lasha Kingsley, bonjour à vos fidèles téléspectateurs et bon début de semaine. À la une des journaux choisis par notre rédaction francophone ce matin, c'est la liste des personnalités visées par les sanctions des USA et le journal par lequel nous débutons notre exercice ce matin. Le détective en parle d'ailleurs à sa une. Parlons, n'est-ce pas, de la crise sécuritaire. Je parle du journal Le Détective Johnson, si on peut la voir à l'écran. Voilà, donc trafic d'armes au profit des Ambazoniens. 3 Camerounais inculpés aux USA. D'après le journal, Alambi Walters Mouma, Edith Ngang et Tamoufo Saint-Michel sont accusés de complicité, financement et armement des terroristes à partir du sol américain. Ils auraient depuis 2017 fait transporter des armes par bateau en direction du Nigeria, qui partage une frontière avec les régions anglophones du nord-ouest et du sud-ouest, qui est actuellement en ces régions qui sont donc actuellement en crise. D'autres inculpations sont annoncées. Chaud devant pour les Ambazoniens et leur support tapis au pays de l'oncle Sam. Vous aurez donc plus d'informations à ce sujet sur la page 3 ou dans la page 3 du journal Le Détective. Poursuivons avec Émergence qui parle également des sanctions américaines. Tout savoir sur la liste des personnalités visées. L'ambassade des États-Unis se prononce. Les internationalistes Wana Emmanuel et Romuald Francis Mvo expliquent l'impact des restrictions de visa sur ces personnalités. Vous aurez plus dans les pages 4 à 5 du journal Émergence. Dont repère, c'est gouverner sur haute instruction. Le président de la République tient rarement des conseils de ministres pour donner directement ses instructions aux membres du gouvernement, transformant du coup son principal collaborateur en principal rôle de transmission, mais d'aucuns rechignent à les mettre en œuvre, y voyant plutôt une initiative personnelle de ce dernier. C'est donc ce que nous renseigne le journal Repère ce matin dans sa page 3. Terminons donc avec le journal Le Jour de Aman Mana qui parle des examens officiels, remousse autour du baccalauréat général 2020. D'après le journal, les candidats ont découvert avec étonnement certaines épreuves. Les explications d'un inspecteur de pédagogie, c'est à lire dans les pages 2 à 3 du journal de Aman Mana. Voilà, mesdames, messieurs, pour les tabloïds choisis par notre rédaction francophone ce matin. Place à toi, Lasha Kingsley en anglais.
Thank you, Audrey Zatsa. Let's kickstart this morning, of course, with the Horizon newspaper, the Horizon, which is revisiting the recent outing of the United Nations, urging the government of Cameroon to reach out to separatist fighters in the northwest and southwest regions of the country. The Anglophone crisis, which has been ongoing for over 5 years and counting now, a lasting solution not yet found to the conflict. Multiple calls coming from the international community and individuals for lasting solutions to be found, still not yielding fruit. This time around, the United Nations has urged Cameroon to reach out to separatist fighters to look for a lasting solution to the ongoing conflict. Let's talk about Minister Paula Tanganji, who has donated some relief material of President Paul Biya to over 6,000 Central African refugees in the east region of the country. Paula Tanganji was in Garwa Garwa Bolai recently to give or to hand over the materials that he was commissioned or assigned by President Paul Biya to go give the Central African refugees who are in Cameroon due to the conflict in the country. Let's talk about this issue. That is, we are talking about the diplomats being accredited to Cameroon, and the Horizon newspaper is questioning this morning if Cameroon will welcome pro-gay new U.S. ambassador to the country. The new U.S. ambassador, who was nominated recently by President Joe Biden, has sparked debates across the spectrum. As you all know, Cameroon's laws prohibit the practice of homosexuality in the country. More details about the view or the question of the Horizon this morning: if President Paul Biya will accept or welcome the pro-gay U.S. ambassador to Cameroon. Let's leave the Horizon newspaper. The Herald Tribune is also interested in the homosexual diplomats being accredited to Cameroon. According to the paper, accepting homosexual diplomats, on the editorial comment of the paper, Cameroon caught between devil and deep blue sea, writes the Herald Tribune newspaper. This comes a few days after the U.S. government, led by Joe Biden, nominated a pro-gay diplomat or ambassador to Cameroon. More details in this edition of the Herald Tribune newspaper. And the Herald Tribune is also reporting on the gift or the relief aid that were handed to over 6,000 Central African refugees by Minister Paul Atanganji at Garwa Bola in the east region of the country. Recently, Paul Atanganji was representing President Paul Biya in that part of the country where over 6,000 refugees were handed some relief material that were given by President Paul Biya of the Republic of Cameroon. The Guardian Post, on its part, is interested in the move that is about to be taken by some stakeholders in the book sector in the country. The paper writes in one of its lead headlines, or major headlines, that dark clouds over 2021-2022 academic year. Stakeholders in the book sector threaten strike over alleged alarming corruption at the National Book Commission. Parliament, PM's office, and CONAC petition in that light. And the president of the said book commission says accusations unfounded. You can get more details in this edition of the Guardian Post newspaper. Let's end with this headline talking about the recent NEC meeting of the Social Democratic Front Party in Yaoundé. That was over the weekend in Yaoundé. We are told by the paper that NEC resolves Nincho's OC failed. We are told that officials of the said party or the senior or Social Democratic Front Party (SDF) slum instigators came out victorious. The National Executive Committee (NEC) of this opposition Social Democratic Front Party, the SDF, has resolved the misunderstanding between its firebrand members of Parliament, Honorables Joshua Ossi,
Which Cameroon
Which
government?
Cameroon government?
The CV has the bullshit talk about Cameroon government. Cameroon government. Wow.
Comment on appelle le groupe ici là?
Les mamans.
Non, on va se demander que technique à faute parce qu'on peut même pas dire que.
Switch on that thing. It's on that. It's not on. It's not on. Yes, it's on now. Just a good morning, Charles KEBUA.
Est-ce qu'il y a quel problème à Bamenda par rapport à l'eau?
Allô, c'est le projet. Il y a un projet pour l'eau dans son village là, où les gens ont mangé 115 millions qui étaient donnés par le gouvernement de compléter le projet. Ils ont partagé ça entre eux.
Donc, au Cameroun, chacun veut seulement avoir sa part du gâteau, Massa. Hey!
Et
And then, I didn't know the members of that from that village equally.
Well, it's mixed up when there are resolutions. Everybody is found guilty. They always come now against it.
external. I would just say we are back in the studio. Tu pars où? On est en live, tu pars où? Ça, les hommes.
Ouais, là, c'est non. Bien sûr, je cherchais. C'est bon, déjà, pour vous canter.
Tu as. Faut le calme, mon ami.
Émission antenne.
Va couper la lumière.
En plein live. Ah bon?
J'allais tomber malade, je te jure. Mais là, il était ici, là, comme ça.
C'est encore parti. Oh.
Tu t'imagines que tu as des
On laisse nous.
terroriser les gens. Ça part, l'écran part d'abord, pas. Mais vous continuez quand même à parler.
C'est bon. Ah, si, mais nous
On ne peut pas laisser Massacha, c'est là
KEBUA.
pour nous donner des informations. Là. Quand vous faites souvent vos grosses réunions, là, Kingsley, c'est vous parlez de quoi même?
Family NGO, international NGO. You understand? No, yeah. Spiritual healing, na baba yeah. Kabaros la bagos pa ye bande. Spiritual healing, na baba yeah. Kabaros la bagos pa ye bande. Fish, Goff. Je ne suis pas dans les way de John Jola, maman Jody. posh. See the way I call for my own boy. Men and can give me chop and she done for bag the gosh. I put the way it's my own checking. I just say my blow the right is my own posh. When I be the voix, there was no way. Now lay away, we can point me touch. Les gars veulent seulement job là oui number one, yeah. Les gars veulent seulement job là oui number one. Qu'est-ce que c'est mot? Les gars veulent seulement job là oui number one, mais les gars veulent seulement job là oui number one. Qu'est-ce que c'est mot? Et c'est pour cela que je ne suis pas dans le job, yeah. Les gars y'a trop mot le job, yeah. Ne suis pas dans le way de job. Les gars y'a trop mollo. C'est pas toi qui donne, tu doubles comme si tu attendais. Le titre est fait la talard, tu refuses quand le pharaon de panthère. Moi-même j'ai pas acheté une voiture pour ma mater. Pour que quand elle avait ses amis, elle peut aussi crâner même comme il n'y a pas le pâté. When they be born me, répète la faucille mouna. Be picking for Bamana, no be picking for Estimuna. Tu penses que je n'ai pas les tontons et les tatines qui peuvent me help. Je cherche mon propre agence, il veut même nico vex. Galéré, awakamina soso kunya. Ledangare, oda una soso kuna. Galéré, awakamina soso kunya. Ledangare, oda una soso kuna. Seulement job là oui number one, yeah. Les gars veulent seulement job là oui number one. Qu'est-ce que c'est mon loulou? Les gars veulent seulement job là oui number one, mais les gars veulent seulement job là oui number one. Qu'est-ce que c'est mon? Et c'est pour cela que je ne suis pas dans le job. Les gars y'a trop mon le job. Ne suis pas dans le way de job.
Hitch. We are back in the studio to continue with the discussions this morning, and we are welcoming Charles KEBUA, our regional correspondent or bureau chief for the North. It's another day, and we are glad you are here. Let's kickstart with what the newspapers are talking about this morning. I'm talking about the accreditation of pro-gay diplomats to Cameroon. The newspapers in the country are very bitter with that this morning, following the nomination of the new U.S. ambassador to the country. As you all know, the laws of Cameroon forbid the practice of homosexuality in the country. What do you have to say as a journalist and as a Cameroonian?
As a journalist, like written by my colleague there, honestly, we are caught between the devil and the good things, because we will not, in this our country, there is no specific, when we talk of a law where gay marriage is accepted in this country, and when we come to them, we find persons coming in as gay, then eventually we are saying that the devil is almost by our doorstep.
But that's not the first diplomat. Nah? We've been living with some, I think about 3 of them. I would not like to cite names. About 3 of them are already in the country, some being ambassadors and others. So why are we so much interested in the U.S. New ambassador to the country?
I take it now personally that as a Christian, gay is not part of us. Yeah. Personally, it isn't, and like we said, or equally what the papers had actually written, there is none in this country who will be in support of that.
But how can we explain the fact that the Cameroonian government is against such practices, and then the same government is, accepting these people into the country?
It comes to where we are caught between, God's kingdom and the devil's kingdom.
Okay. Thank you, Charles KEBUA, for the view on that. Let's now talk about this water project, the Agem water project, where the sole owner of the project is ACADA, that's Agem Cultural and Development Association. Community realization of the project, as you rightly put it, is 86%, and you said 14% of government assistance of over 115 million francs CFA to complete the project have been swallowed by certain individuals. So can you tell us more about the said water projects?
Yes, the Agem Giant Water Project is a project that had been for 30 years. You can't imagine that people need water for 30 years. Old mothers, the young, old parents, the youths equally, they did a lot of work to ensure that the water that comes with natural flow, its gravity, from a hillside called Mbinja, which was allocated, and the population of Agem Womb did everything to ensure that they carry on, this project. And the population, from the days of ADC, before the taking over of the Agem Cultural and Development Association, ACADA had worked this water to a level of being realistic at 86%, and there was just only 4% of this that is put on the pipes and ensure that the whole town of Agem drink potable water. You can see water up the hills there at Binjam, floating down with nobody about to drink, and works is going on, and these works had gone on where government itself came in to assist this community with the rest 14%, with a total amount of 115 million to complete this water.
So the question many are asking, Mr. Charles KEBUA, is we keep complaining about the government officials, they have embezzled money, but look at us, the local population. We are giving 115 million to complete a project that will help us. We decide to swallow the money, and we'll turn around and blame the government.
You see the bad faith in it, and this bad faith comes from those contractors. It's not a hidden thing. Etablissement Mortison and Etablissement Bache, these are the two companies that were given this project for completion. To be honest with you, the term of contract as we speak got expired, and we are talking now, they had received a 30 million already collected out from that 115 million for something that has not been done, and the vote holders together with those contractors are allegedly have collected this money and swindled it, leaving the population.
You are part of the association, and you are part of the executive as well. So what are you people doing at the level to bring these people to book, to ensure that they bring back the money for the completion of the project?
It pains me that for 30 years, other communities like Isu, they have their drinking water, and today they manage those water. I am from Agem as an elite. It pains me so much, and I want to thank the Agem Cultural and Development Association, ACADA, for the last council meeting that held on the 5th of June in Bafoussam, that came out with lots of resolution towards ensuring that ACADA, being the sole owner of this water, representing the population, took firm actions, and some of these firm actions were to take legal actions on against any defaulter or contractor or whoever is mingled entirely, to ensure that this water, this money, this 15 million allegedly be swindled. We say no, it will never happen.
Okay, Charles, let's talk about this other issue vividly. We are talking about the Watchdog Tribune group. that has to do with celebrating heroes and heroines of national unity and champions of peace. That's the 10th on the 10th of July 2021 in Bafoussam. Can you tell us more about the Watchdog Tribune newspaper celebrating what you call heroes and heroines of national unity?
Yeah, the laureates of a prestigious press award of the Watchdog Tribune, led by its publisher Ezeke Dota, will be in Bafoussam for this prestigious award. You know, the Watchdog Tribune group is one of those, we will call it a big house, where, you know, with samples that went all throughout the whole 10 regions of Cameroon, with a survey from public, made it known that the professional journalists came out with a final vote of prestigious persons who will be having this National Press Award coming up in Bafoussam. And to tell you that the Bafoussam event on the 10th of July 2021 will be on national unity and peace in Cameroon.
Okay.
Which tells us
a newspaper in the region, a volatile region.
Yes.
You can imagine.
You know what the man himself, the writer, or the publisher himself is. He's one of those firebrand, pressmen that when he stands.
Okay, Audrey,
okay. Before we end the program, if we could vividly have your view about these three personalities that have been sanctioned, indicted for sponsoring the Anglophone, the crisis in the northwest and the southwest regions. What do you think about it?
I want to believe and I want to say it's a good step. Yeah, the Anglophones, common man, suffer so much since the beginning of this crisis. And really, it's high time, honestly, for, if those sanctions are coming now, to look at those individuals who have been perpetrators towards this heinous, I call it a heinous act, be brought to book. I want to believe it's the beginning.
But some Anglophones too have been cited, according to the Detective newspaper.
It is not only the three Anglophones. Our brothers and sisters are inside, and all what we need now is peace. And total peace.
Don't you think it's going to provoke more agitations or violence as these people are being indicted?
Well, I don't see provoking any violence, because once an international embargo is placed somewhere, it's not only for those, but something international.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Charles KEBUA. We do apologize for the technical hitch that we had this morning. We're not able to explore all the areas that we had earlier marked for this program. Notwithstanding, man makes machine, and machine sometimes disappointment. Thank you so much for watching the very first edition for the week, presented to you by Audrey, Zatsa, myself, Lasha Kinsley, and the program was produced, of course, by Christian Tebon. See you tomorrow for yet another edition of What the Papers Must Have Said. Bye-bye.